Hello again. Welcome back to Snake's Revenge. We're gonna get right into a boss fight as soon as we go through a couple doors. This boss can be rather tough if you don't know what to do, but the way I beat it is kind of disappointing. I'm sorry, but I just really don't want to put up with its bullshit. All of its attacks kill you instantly. Getting shot by that tank shell kills you instantly. Getting run over obviously kills you instantly. And if you're clumsy, you can fall off the side of the bridge, which, yeah, kills you instantly. I guess with Snake carrying, you know, a platoon's worth of weaponry and ammunition, it can't swim all that well. And that's it. The battle's over before it really began. Mines, I believe, are the only thing that work on the tank. Interestingly, the tank in the manual has a weird name, like Nagma-chan or something like that. A lot of the enemies in the manual have weird names. If you did read the manual way back when, you'll note that the base's commander's name is something like a Hyrola Kakamimi. Yeah, I don't really know either, but he's the person we're going to take Metal Gear from. Well, destroy Metal Gear, really, and you know, remove it from his hands. About boss fights, actually. The Metal Gear Solid series really has some nice boss fights. Pretty much all of them, I think, are rather well done. Quick edit here to refill Truthcast. Starting off even with the first Metal Gear Solid, I mean, the fight with Psycho Mantis was, again, quite amazing. If you haven't played that game, again, you should. You can get the Twin Snakes version, I think, fairly cheaply. This next screen, I almost always get spotted. Just because, yep, quite often I tend to try and turn too early and get hung up on that corner, or something like that. Here we have infrared goggles. Those will come in handy in just a little bit. Yeah, the boss fights in the Metal Gear Solid series I really like. There's very rarely do you just have to sit and slug it out with a boss, you know, like a straight gunfight. Usually they have some sort of unique aspect to them. Here's the shotgun in all its glory. You can see it makes short work of guards. That first time I fired it, I think I hit 3 guys with 1 shot, which can't beat that, really, in terms of ammunition effectiveness in this game, really. The shotgun does quite a bit of damage if you get up point blank and make all the pellets hit one target. So some people like it to take out bosses, but I think there's better options. Here's the infrared goggles. Again, Snake doesn't have his cigarettes with him, so he's, well, for one thing, he's probably jonesing pretty bad right now. The other is he can't really use them to reveal the lasers. Touching the lasers sets off an alarm and brings the attack squad, but it doesn't hurt you, which I was kind of surprised to find out. In most games, it seems like lasers hurt you. Most NES games, anyway. Also, signal's jammed. If I remember correctly, that happens in the first Metal Gear, and it might happen in Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake as well. Again, I don't quite recall, but I know that it does happen in one or both of those. This little section here, if I am standing right above this guy, like right above one of those windows, when he sticks his head out, he spots me and jumps back in and sounds an alarm, and a bunch of guys on jetpacks or wearing jetpacks come to shoot you up. And it's a real pain in the ass because they have a lot of health, they fly around, and they shoot constantly. Just a real mess, and I avoid it at all costs by just standing way on the left where he can't see me. You saw how slow Snake kind of moves in the side-scrolling section, and just how quickly that guard was sticking his head out the window. Each time he pops out, I believe it's a random location. So really my tactic of just standing on the left there is cheap, but it's the only tactic. I can't say enough good things about the Metal Gear Solid series in terms of boss fights, well, in terms of gameplay, really. Let me show you the Claymore mine. You set it down with the fire button, you turn and face one direction, and the direction you are facing when you press the fire button again is the direction the Claymore mine will explode and spread shrapnel. Oddly, as you noticed, it's silent, apparently. Yeah, signal's still jammed. Good job. I don't know why. You would think that the plastic explosive that sends that shrapnel flying through the air would be pretty loud. I'm still wearing the night vision goggles because it makes everything black and white, except for the guards, which is kind of neat. But it does get a little old on the eyes after a while. Let's see, what was another good boss fight? You know, man, there's so many. I really liked fighting the end. If you haven't played Metal Gear Solid 3, you should do so. It's quite an amazing game. Probably one of my favorite of the series. And just the amount of options you have, and especially in that fight, it really surprised me. You can actually essentially skip that fight altogether in more than one way. You have, I think, at least 2 different ways you can just skip the entire fight. I don't want to spoil it, but they're kind of funny. If you don't, then generally what you're drawn into is this long, especially the first time you play the game, this long drawn out kind of protracted sniper duel. And I don't recall playing another game that really does that same thing. And that fight was one of the most intense, I think, of my gaming career, you could say. You know, it's just you and the enemy spread over this large area, hunting for each other, and if he sees you, he rarely misses. Oh boy, antidote. Really not looking forward to have to use those. Let me pause and refill. In this room. Yep, you're welcome, buddy. I wonder where all these guys get captured from. Who are they? Are they like reporters, maybe? That came in and were just taken hostage? The game doesn't explain, well, a lot of things, but then again, a lot of NES games didn't. When your plot essentially has to fit on one 5x7 piece of paper in a manual, you don't generally have a whole lot of time to do any sincere development. Obviously there are games that did, and they were kind of the exception to the rule. But this game came out, you know, again, early 90s or late 80s, I think, actually, 89. And you know what? You've seen this before. There we go. That's better. So it's kind of odd that we get card 6 before card 5. If your minor OCD is kicking in right now, sorry, I'll do my best to remedy that as quickly as I can. And we're on our way to the next building. With the red stars in the background, I guess. More lasers. Actually, I think I'm going to cut the video here.